Internet is a challenge. All right, Bessie, did you need to close that door? It just needs to stay just like that, all right? And it needs to be over here. Hold on, this needs to be right here. That's right. You just stay right there, don't touch that.
I was waiting for her. She gave her permission, just because she doesn't have the card. I told her to do something for her, so she got, yeah.
Y'all are killing me, man. What is she trying to do?
No, you told her to do something for you.
Just don't worry about it, man.
Don't worry
Whatever
about
it
it.
is, just,
I'll talk to her.
it's over with.
All right.
Just forget it, we'll figure it out later. She needs to go do whatever she gotta do. All right, yo, Wealth Wednesday, what's the deal? Close that for me. It's your boy, Dr. David Anderson, AKA Mr. Black Economics. You know the flavor, you know the routine. We're still figuring it out. We're trying to do these pull-ups, but no, that's gotta stay right there. That does not need to move. Yeah, please, and thank you. Internet is a challenge, so we're trying to do this mobile internet thing. I'm figuring it out, so I had to figure it out on the fly. Either way, we'll be able to, as we continue to do these pull-ups at these different locations, mastering the internet at these different locales in the future, probably by next week, will be dope. Because actually, hand me that font. I got a new device. I just got to get it to work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, this thing right here. It's kind of cold-blooded. But I need a SIM card. See that? SIM not installed. So once I get the SIM card in here, we can go anywhere. 5G. So won't be no, yo, the Wealth Wednesday is moving slow or staggering, blah, blah, blah. Won't none of that happen. Just put it right over there with the phone. We'll be good, because that's actually the setup for it. So it'll have power, have its own little thing. We'll be ready to go. Anyway, appreciate y'all for hanging out. It's Wealth Wednesday. You know how we get down. We got a lot to unpack and to deal with. Also, at 10 o'clock, we will have the homie George Cole come in here and throw down for about 30 minutes before we get out of here and talk to y'all about y'all credit. A lot of people are hitting us up about their credit. They want to know how to do this, how to do that, blah, blah, blah. Is credit important? Whoop-de-whoop. So we're going to be dealing with that as well. All right, tonight, last week, all right, we kind of ran out of time. And last week we were talking about, we were getting ready to unpack ADUs and a lot of stuff that's going on here in Atlanta. ADUs is what we call an additional dwelling unit, all right? So we'll put that on the board for some of y'all that are trying to figure it out. ADU stands for additional dwelling unit. All right. So on tonight's lesson, we're really going to be getting into the unpacking of development. All right. There's a lot happening here in Atlanta as it relates to the market. The market's crazy. Every time we list something, it goes under contract. It's like 7 houses under contract right now. Super excited about that because we can get this new office build done very quickly. So understanding development and having strong development plans is really going to be what we're unpacking tonight. We're also going to be dealing with pad split. A lot of y'all might have seen the flyer that went out talking about pad split, right? So we're dealing with pad split. What is pad split? We're going to talk about that also tonight. The differences versus pad split versus Airbnb. If you want to have a versus, a real estate versus pad split versus Airbnb would be that. That would be the versus, all right? Airbnb. You know what I mean? You can do the Airbnb thing, that's cool. Airbnb has its place. I'm not gonna knock it. You know, I've done it. But pad split, we're gonna get into the mechanics of that tonight and how pad split versus Airbnb, how it differs, how you can use it, how you can generate some cash flow. That's what tonight's lesson plan is really going to be about, is generating cash flow. What we call cash flow. And then also, in order to generate cash flow, you gotta really understand the market, and your speculation gotta be on point, all right? So we're gonna be doing a little bit of speculating tonight as well, all right? So your speculation gotta be like, you gotta really know what you're buying into as you're buying, all right? And that's kind of an ill concept, but if there's nothing going on, you don't buy. But if something's going on, then you buy. All right, and so we'll be dealing with speculation, forecasting, what we call fact pattern recognition, all these kinds of what we call big picture thinking. We'll put that on the board too for tonight. All right, big picture thinking. Because speculation is just your opinion, what you think. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I think this is going to be a good investment. Well, we're not thinking it's a good investment. We're not speculating that these investments are good, all right? And there's a whole bunch of factors that go into big picture thinking. Speculation is just one of them. When you incorporate your speculation with fact pattern recognition, it's a whole nother lesson plan, and you incorporate those things, fact pattern recognition, your speculation, into this process. You understand? Then you get into what we call big picture thinking. This is what real speculators do when they on the market. When they get ready to make a move, they're gonna go long on the market. It requires big picture thinking, and that's a science. That's a whole ideology that we really want to unpack and understand, because a lot of times people are just doing things just to do them. Just because we was watching Wealth Wednesday, we saw Dr. Anderson come through with it, and it seemed simple. So I want to do it. People get excited. And so there's a methodology, man, that is a practice. And if you're not into this practice, right, it's just like yoga, right? If you're not into the breathing from the chakras, from in here, in the gut, you're not doing that in the Kundalini, you know what I'm saying, brother? Because you got to understand your Kundalini and your chakras got to be lined up. If you're not doing all of that, fat shouts to the Hoteps, those dudes. If you're not aligned, man, you're not doing all of that, it's a wrap. So tonight, we're gonna get to the bag, but we gotta really understand, where this bag is at. Also, as we move on, as we proceed through the night, a lot is happening right now. I mean, the real estate market is crazy right now. It's like super, super crazy. Thank you. And so, understanding like what's driving this thing is even way more important. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you want to add something to that fact pattern recognition and the speculation, market conditions is really what's driving this boat. It's driving the train. And so right now, there's a couple of different things that I want to touch on before we get into our lesson plan as it relates specifically to Atlanta. I was on the radio this morning. I dropped some Megaton bombs, real silent sleepers, man. And one of the things that I talked about was an announcement that was made by what we have here is called Invest Atlanta. So we'll put this on the board, Invest Atlanta, as we get into it. I got a small whiteboard tonight. I know it's not as big as we usually, have it, but.
What you trying to say, bro?
Well, I'm just saying, we're gonna get a bigger whiteboard. We just gotta more of these little things right here. You can go get a whole bunch of them. All right, so we want to get into this thing with Invest Atlanta. All right, so we're looking for the bag. You can Google this, and I know for some of y'all that are outside of Atlanta, you're like, why is this important? Just this could be applied in other states as well. What this is, what Invest Atlanta is our local funding source for projects, especially developmental projects, all right? And so you can Google Invest Atlanta. go to investatlanta.org or whatever it is, .gov.org. I don't know. You can just Google it and be specific with it. But understanding where the money reside. Remember that dude we was talking about that got out the back of the car? He was like, yo, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. Invest Atlanta is one of the places that the money resides, all right? And so if we understand that and we know that, it's like, all right, cool. What can Invest Atlanta offer us, all right? Because as a developer, there's offers, there's tax advantages, there's all kind of other advantages. So they put this statement out, which is what I was discussing about this morning on the radio. Invest Atlanta came out and they was like, yo, we getting ready to acquire 32 acres of raw land, and they was real specific about it. In this article on the Saptora report, and I'm gonna post it on the Facebook fan page, on the Saptora report, they said, hey, these 31 acres that we buying, they real specific, super specific on where they're buying. And then they further said they're gonna continue the belt line from Chappelle Road. Now, in Atlanta, this is real finite to an Atlanta conversation. So if you guys are outside of Atlanta, just bear with me for a second. But remember, 2 weeks ago, we purchased a whole entire block on the Beltline, all right? And we're really excited about that. And we're moving, doing plans, doing stuff with architects and all this other type of stuff. So it's a lot happening on that front. But the location that we bought in, Chappelle Road, is literally the next street over from where we are, okay? So we're on a real quiet street. We own the whole block. And across the tracks where the Beltline is and the MARTA and CSX rail is this other street called Chappelle, like Dave Chappelle, all right? And on this report that Invest Atlanta put out, they put some heavy duty data that would suggest that they're interested in buying 32 acres from Chappelle Road all the way to Bankhead MARTA station. Now, for those of y'all that are not from Atlanta, Bankhead is like, it's where Shining Shawty grandmama reside. And a lot of y'all might not know who Shining Shawty is, but Shining Shawty wears a white t-shirt and he hangs out at Campbellton and D-Lo, and he got on the whole, the blue jeans with the gold fronts in his mouth. He got one silver tooth in the back from his molar, and he on the phone all day. And he not on a regular, iPhone 12, he got a brick phone, okay? He got the old school brick phone. That's Shining Shawty. His grandmama lived in Bankhead, okay? That's where Bankhead is, where the Bankhead bounce started. It was at one point one of the most depressed neighborhoods in the country, next to South Bronx. And now it's a lot of money coming in there, and it's gentrification going on, and the city of Atlanta decided to build a waterfall, or like a rock quarry, and make it a water park and all this other crazy stuff that's going on. So stuff that used to be like 10 grand, 20 G's is now like 250,000 to $500,000. It's crazy right now. So this hot zone that Invest Atlanta has identified from Chappelle Road all the way to Bankhead is the area that they have identified as what they are going to buy to continue building this belt line and connecting it with the Bankhead MARTA station, which is going to then connect to the Buckhead MARTA station. All right, so they're making a run, and they being real quiet about it. They put out a news report, or the Saptora report put a news story out on it. But this right here has officially, they certified this whole run on land, okay? And it's on kind of like by default that we're like right at the beginning mark. We literally just bought in by a stroke of luck and God. We literally bought in at the right time, at the precipice, at the footing of what's getting ready to go down. It is just unbelievable. I've read this report this morning. I was like, yo, this can't even get no better than this. This is crazy. It's 100% crazy. I got Scott West. You can go and check out Scott West architecture. Scott West architecture. This dude is modern design king. He's putting together some kind of structures for us for our office space. It's just crazy. All right, you're talking like $3.5 million value off the rip. All right. So what I'm trying to explain to y'all, and this is where the meteors come. Tonight is going to be a different type of Wealth Wednesday because we really just coming and getting right to it. You know what I'm saying? This is important for you because when we're talking about where the money reside, right? It can't just be like, oh well, I'm gonna buy something because I got a good feeling that this is gonna happen, right? You're buying because of one thing, and it's called infrastructure. And this is very important because the basis of what everybody is operating on is literally a thesis statement from this dude named Ryan Gravel. I'm gonna put this on the board. He's a very important key to this whole Beltline situation. Ryan Gravel. All right, he is the quote. We'll call him the founder, right, of this idea. All right, he's the speculator. He's the big picture thinker. All right, and so in 1999, this is the backstory for some of y'all that like the educational component of the Wealth Wednesday. Oh, we really like David. He really gives you a big perspective and a lot of history on his ideologies in real estate. Here it comes. Okay, 1999. Ryan Gravel was a student at Georgia Tech. All right, and at Georgia Tech, he wrote this thesis statement. Very important. I'm putting it on the board. His thesis, right? Dr. Anderson, what is a thesis? Or his hypothesis. In order for him to become a doctor, right, he had to write this white paper, and his white paper suggested this. Infrastructure promotes economic development. We'll just put this right here. It's real simple. Infrastructure promotes economic development. Now, in Atlanta, I'll just draw this ideogram here so y'all can follow. Some genius came up with this idea, all right, and then Charlotte picked up on it, and so did Baltimore, and so did DC. Some genius 40 years ago came up with this idea to create a circular highway around the city of Atlanta. So this ATL right here. ATL, ho! This is Atlanta, right? It looks like that. That's ATL, ho. That's what they call it. They got a shirt now. Somebody walked in the store and said ATL and HO. It's crazy. All right, so this is Atlanta, right? And then you got this circle that goes around Atlanta, right? So the idea is that, and here's another thing, we're gonna get into this too. The dividing line that comes through Atlanta, and yes, I said dividing line, we'll put it through the ATL and the HO, is something called I-20. This is Interstate I-20.
So that's a rapper.
Give y'all some game right now. All right, and then there's other freeways that come straight through here, right? You got
285,
75. We'll go this way, and we'll go this way. This is I-75.
And that's 85.
That goes down to
Macon, Florida,
Savannah, blah blah blah. And then you got I-85.
Alabama.
That's right. And then up here, this is where the money reside.
400.
This is where I like to buy.
400.
This is 85. Take this to go back home.
South Carolina.
15 hours. And then you go this way.
Tennessee.
This is 75. And then they got some stuff that run this way. And that's 400. All right. This is real important when we're establishing this thesis statement or this concept that Ryan Gravel has come up with. Okay. Now, before we dig deeper into this circular freeway that they came up with is called 285. Interstate 285. And what happened was, 40 years ago, people would commute, right? They would live out here. So these areas, this is like Gwinnett County. So we'll put, yeah, Gwinnett is great. A lot of equity, right? Out here, let's call this Decatur, DeKalb.
Stone.
Where's greater?
Yeah. You know, there's some
Black
Caribbean
Mecca.
folks out there.
Oh, baby West Indies, yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's like almost 1 million Caribbean people out there. There's a lot of black people that, you know, reside out here in the Stone Mountain area. Then you got Roswell up here. This is all the white folks.
Cobb County.
Oh yeah, I don't like Cobb. Stay the hell away from
Yeah,
Cobb.
Yeah, I'm with
Don't-
you on that.
Put the Braves Stadium right in the middle.
Yeah, they done moved their
The Braves,
baseball
in the middle.
up here. They moved it from Atlanta, picked it up, blew it up, and Hank Aaron's home and put it up here with the Trump supporters. Stay away from there. And then this is Southwest ATL.
Well, what about Douglasville over there?
Yeah, you know Douglasville. All right, so blah blah blah. That's really out here. So I could go on and on about breaking this up, but this is the part that's important right here. Okay. And then this is Forsyth up here. That's real important. This is where the lake is.
Yeah.
We have
Mark the airport. That's important.
airport.
Holly Park.
Airport's right here. Yeah, that is important, Fonz. Thank you. Southwest ATL, College Park. Then they're gonna start getting the Clayco and Fayetteville shouting, Henry County, goddamn! All right.
Fayetteville is important for the film industry.
See how? Yeah, it is. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the deal. So this on the statement, infrastructure promotes economic development. Follow this logic. 40 years ago, people was working or living, choosing to reside in DeKalb County or Stone Mountain. Oh yeah, we're gonna go live in Lithonia. All right, cool. And then they would drive down 20, right, every morning to come into the city. Okay, they put in their 8 hours or whatever, they 9 hours, 10 hours, they overtime, and then they would drive back. Okay, now where they're taking showers, where they're eating, where they're doing all their living is not in the city of Atlanta. It's in DeKalb County, in Lithonia, in Stone Mountain, or wherever else. It's outside of these perimeter walls of Atlanta. And so Atlanta city government was like having these meetings and coming up with an idea like, hey, wait a minute. Even though the greater Atlanta area is experiencing exponential growth because Cobb County, Gwinnett County, DeKalb County, North Fulton, all these counties are like some of the most fastest growing counties in America. And especially Cobb and Gwinnett, it's out of control. So when you look at this, yes, the greater metro Atlanta area is getting tax income, but Atlanta is losing, okay? Atlanta is not retaining at this time when this idea came about, and it was post-Olympics now, 1999. Keep this in mind. They were trying to figure out a way, government in Atlanta was trying to figure out a way to keep that money in the city of Atlanta proper. How do we do this? Okay, now, enter Ryan Crevel. He's a at the time, young cat, real smart, intellectual, big picture thinker, speculator, right? So he comes up with the idea, all right, infrastructure promotes economic development. Okay, when you say stuff like that, you can't just say that. You gotta have, facts and circumstances is what they call it to back this up. So, okay, Mr. Gravel, infrastructure promotes economic development. Explain, okay? And so what this dude did is this dude went into the archives, all right, of Atlanta, of what Atlanta is really about. And Atlanta was literally a slave trading marketplace, all right? So when you get back to the history of Georgia, and I believe the official code of Georgia annotated originated in 1862, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
1862 is the OCGA GA original code. I know some of y'all are gonna fact check me on that. I believe it was 1862, 1863, if I'm not mistaken. And in the code, one of the things that's really important, because it hangs in my office, in the code it said, the original code of Georgia said, no Negro in the great state of Georgia shall own land. Put a pin in that. All right, so where I'm going with this is that Ryan Gravel went all the way back like 200, 250 years into the history of Atlanta. Atlanta was called Terminus, all right? So in Georgia, the original capital for Georgia was in Savannah, because this is where the slaves were coming directly from West Africa, and they were being dropped off in like really two spots. One was Charleston, South Carolina, the other one was Savannah, Georgia. And then from there, they were sent up to Macon, and they were brokered to go west or to go north or wherever. And I believe there was a raid on Savannah, and so they had to move the capital from Savannah to Macon, and then there was a raid on Macon, and so they wound up moving the capital up here to Atlanta. So that's kind of the history for some of y'all history buffs that want to understand how the hell did that go down. But in Atlanta, which was originally called Terminus, right? Terminus. There was a station at my old office, 233 Mitchell Street, when we was over there almost 20 years ago. And on that block on Mitchell Street on the corner was an area called Terminus, okay? And the Terminus station was really the last stop for the Norfolk Southern Rail Line. It was the last stop was Terminus. And it was the last stop because the slaves that were boated in from Africa, right, in Savannah that were brought up by rail through Macon and brokered, came up to Terminus Station to be sold on an auction block. That is the history of Atlanta. And people don't want to own this, but if you go to the underground Atlanta, you can literally see, and they got people that they pay for misinformation is crazy. They got people that they pay on payroll to debunk the story. This is a true story.
Wow.
They got the actual stock. That's where the stock market comes from. This ideology of the stock market, it comes from the stock of the Negro, the livestock, standing on the block, right? We talking about, yo, I'm on the block, yo, I'm controlling the block, you know what I'm saying? You know, G's up, hoes down, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, I'm on the block, I'm getting this work, goddamn. They don't have no understanding of what that's really about. Because literally, you on the block, and you holding your nuts, not because you the man, not because you getting ready to rap, not because you getting ready to dunk on somebody, but because you trying to save the little bit of dignity that you do have, while all these people is watching you and they starting to bid at $100. That's what's up. They grabbing your booty cheeks, they checking out your abs, they seeing how strong you are. Livestock auction. That's what it was. It was a livestock auction, and usually livestock, when we go to the livestock auction, we looking for the new what is it?
Alpaca?
The alpacas. Thank you. We looking for the alpacas because the alpaca shit is worth $250.
Put that shit in the bag.
Put it in a bag. I'm about to send one to George Frazier. That's a whole nother conversation. So when we really understand what all of this is about, Ryan Gravel goes into this whole entire dissertation where he's going back in his white paper 250 years. And what this dude does is he's unearthing all of the tracks. Listen to me, class, because this is ATL, ho. This is Terminus, right? All of the tracks that were connecting the city of Atlanta. This dude unearthed all of the tracks from 100, 200 years ago that went around the city of Atlanta and connected the city because slaves were being transported and sold to different plantations, which is what created Atlanta proper. You set the instant replay up. It's in the shop. It comes out of the shop. It'll be crazy.
Yeah.
So all of these tracks, these underground rail tracks, vis-a-vis what we now know today as the Belt Line, are literally unearthed tracks from 100, 200 years ago that go around the Atlanta metro area. And now, if you have a piece of the action on the Belt Line, it's $1 million property. You on the Belt Line, your house is at least $350,000 to $500,000 currently right now. You got, and I'm talking 1,500 square foot house, right? 3 bedroom, 2 bath, a regular old schmegular house. If you trying to buy a block and you trying to go and put 14,000 square feet in that joint, you looking at 3 to 5 million, easy. Okay, so this is like really sought after property, but the history behind it is even deeper. So let us move on. So Ryan Gravel writes this thesis statement, works for or goes to school and is getting his doctorate, dual degree, some crazy magna summa cum laude, all the alphabets behind his name. Infrastructure promotes economic development, goes into the archives, does the history, pulls out all the slave records, connects the dots, and then goes to the city council meeting and says, hey, listen, I know you have a problem. This is where it's really important. City of Atlanta, I know you have a problem. And I know how to solve your problem. So this is the ultimate cap raise. The city of Atlanta has a problem. It's not able to realize taxable income on real property. Whoa! If I'm calling a meeting with Arthur Ferdinand, who's our tax commissioner, and I'm like, yo, I got an idea and I've done the research, I've put in 4 years of my time at Georgia Tech to establish this idea and reason. And here's the paperwork on it. And I'm coming in saying, hey, you should be taxing more money if we're able to do this. And this is where he hit everybody with the history that I'm outlining and establishing for you right now. And when he hits him with the history, he hits him with, okay, if we can realize this belt line that goes around Atlanta, now people won't have to come from DeKalb, Stone Mountain, Lithonia into Atlanta and then go back home out here. Why? Because now they can stay here. They don't have to use up the resources in Atlanta and drink all the water and then go home and not pay taxes here. So this guy comes up with this idea to keep the taxes in Metro Atlanta and obviously allow the taxes to go up. So it's all about money. Where the money reside? ATL. So now, this whole thing with Ryan Gravel's idea, it kind of gets steam under the Shirley Franklin administration. It was kind of introduced during Bill Campbell's term, but Bill Campbell had gotten into some trouble. Really, he didn't get into trouble. He was doing deals, and white folks didn't like it. And then they figured out a way to get him in trouble. That's actually what happened. The Olympics came, and Bill Campbell got paid. A whole bunch of black people got paid.
A whole bunch.
And white folks got mad. That's actually what happened. So Shirley Franklin was his predecessor. And Shirley Franklin it was introduced during the Campbell administration, but Shirley Franklin kind of took up the idea. She entertained it. She explored it. She tried to figure out how we could raise money to get this going. And after Shirley Franklin, obviously Kasim Reed came in and really put the spank on it. And now the ball is in Mayor Bottom's hands, and it's just she's just benefiting off of previous administrations at this point. So what I said this morning on the radio about Invest Atlanta getting ready to make a run from Chappelle, because Chappelle is let's call it right over here, because we are on I-20. We're not too far from I-20. We're not on it, but we're not too far. We can get on the bike and ride the I-20. And I-20 and the Beltline connect. The run that they're talking about making, remember, this is Buckhead up here. Where the 400 is Buckhead. The run that they're talking about making is from here to here. Invest Atlanta literally said on the Saptora report that they want to connect the west side of Atlanta to the north side.
Wow.
Okay? Because the run that they're going to make is from Chappelle Road, which is right up in here where we are, okay, all the way to Bankhead, and Bankhead is probably like right here, right before you get to Cobb. And then, of course, the white folks is going to figure out how to connect the dots from Bankhead to Buckhead. There's no way they're going to, oh no, we can't just let the Beltline stop in Bankhead.
Ew.
We have to go to Buckhead. We have to shop at Lennox. Don't get shot. Who the hell shopping at Lennox?
I was saying, no.
Ain't nobody going to Lennox?
Nah.
Hell no.
Bad rep now.
No way. I'm not going there. I'm not giving them folks my money. Anyway, this right here, why is this important? This is so important right now. Because when we talked earlier about big picture thinking, speculation, fact pattern recognition, when we understand why we make the decisions that we're making, why are we going into these areas and spot checking and skip tracing people and geofencing individuals. I mean, I'm geofencing cats showing up at Starbucks. Yo, man, what's up? You got that property over there? Here's this money. Ain't nobody turning that down. You got a wad knot full of cash, and you done caught somebody in the Starbucks and they got him. Anyway, this is big picture thinking, right? This is the type of speculation that yields results. This is not just, back in the day they used to say, oh, the stock market was so hot that you could just take they had this monkey test is what they called it. And the stock market was just roaring, like in the 80s to the mid 80s to the mid 90s. It was on fire, man. And so they took this, guys at Columbia did a study, they called it the monkey study. And they took monkeys, like 10 different monkeys, and got these darts. And the researchers would put the stock papers on the wall from the Financial Times, and they just let the monkeys throw darts at them. And whatever the dart landed on, that was the stock that these cats bought, okay? And so the way the monkey study went was, the monkey study, somebody made a bet, as it always is, the usual, $1. Oh, thanks, Mortimer. All of that crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? So the idea was that the big guys at Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers would not be able to outwork these monkeys, because all of the technology and all their fact pattern recognition, all their Fibonacci sequence, all their profits in the stock markets, all their HM Gartley harmonic scanners couldn't touch these blind monkeys. It was the blind monkey study. And so the monkeys threw these darts at the wall, and wherever it landed, that was the stock that these researchers or these investors, these speculators, bought into. And of course, over 10 years, which is the amount of time that money resides in investment, in the investment world, that's what the arbitrage is about. The monkeys did better than the freaking bigwigs at Lehman and Goldman, because of human error. So the lesson in that was, it didn't matter if it was monkeys, it could have been whomever, If you're doing something consistently in an area that's hot for a period of 10 years, there's going to be a capital gain. There's going to be some kind of wealth accumulation. And so that right there in itself was one of the, everything cool? Yeah. We got some questions?
They just messing with you on pronunciation about Chappelle. It's Chappelle.
However y'all want to say it, man. Put the money up and buy it. That's what the fuck we talking about tonight.
Calvin.
Yeah. So anyway, I say all this to say our speculation is very important. And our speculation needs to be kind of close to our own vest. Because what's happening is speculation and speculators that don't look like us are speculating about us, okay? And not only are they speculating about us, but they're making runs on our own land. This is what the importance of this morning conversation was, and I really couldn't get into all of this, because it's a small amount of time. It's like 15, 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be in and out. But what I was really trying to communicate to everybody was that these houses that are on Chappelle or Chappelle, however y'all want to pronounce it, right? That's us. You know what I'm saying? That's not available for sale, right? But the agenda is coming down the pipe. The Invest Atlanta ain't playing. You understand what I'm saying? They got real paper. They got long bread, okay? And so it's almost like the booty warrior. I don't know if y'all ever seen this dude, Fleece Johnson. And the booty warrior was like, I seize you and I like you. And we could do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way. You know what I'm saying? That dude, Fleece Johnson. All right, so that was the booty warrior. The booty warrior was the dude that was taking people's booties in jail. It was like, kids wasn't listening to their parents, and it was like, yo, you don't listen, you going to jail. And the booty warrior gonna go get you. You know what I mean? So, that's Invest Atlanta is like the booty warrior. They coming in, they getting ready to have their way with you. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about your grandma's house. They don't care about you struggling. They don't care about no COVID. They don't care about the fact that somebody got hurt or sick, or they ain't trying to hear all of that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't cutting the grass. You ain't checking on this property right here. We sent you some letter, you didn't respond to it. That BS, right? Oh yeah, we ran an ad in the paper for 4 weeks. You didn't respond to it. You didn't pay the back taxes on this? Yo, there's a whole bunch of claims. I'm telling you, man, trust me on this, right? I'm prepared to put 10 G's on it. Send it to Robert Dukes, okay? Oh, the booty warrior. Oh, the Boondocks. Yeah, crazy.
That guy.
That dude. I'm prepared to put the dough up, okay? Because I already know. What's getting ready to happen. They get ready to come in here and they're gonna swoop in and they're gonna buy all of this area right here. Trust me on this. All right? So why is this important? Because this establishes, this is not, I'm not speculating right now, okay? And I told y'all when we started Wealth Wednesday last year, because this week is actually the 12 months is this week that we have done Wealth Wednesday, so it's about a year now. And so we told y'all off the rip when we came on the air, we was like, yo, this thing's about to be crazy. And right now it's crazy. Now it is. I was about 6 months too premature. Okay? Now it's here. Now it's off the chain. And people want to get, Doc, let me know where can we invest at? I get it all the time. Yo, Doc, I'm in the Walmart, in the Home Depot. Yo, Dr. Anderson, tell me where to put my money. Tell me where I can invest, Doc. And I'm on the Wealth Wednesdays, been on the Wealth Wednesdays a whole year now, telling y'all exactly what to do. And it don't get no better than what I'm telling you tonight. What I'm telling you tonight is right here. Trust me on this. If you miss this boat, I'm telling you, man, you missed this, it's on you. It wasn't you ain't try to tell us, you ain't give us the heads up, Dr. Anderson, you ain't say nothing about it. I don't have to say anything. These white people are telling you exactly what they getting ready to do. I sees you and I likes you. We can do this, white people talking, we can do this the easy way or we could do this the hard way. And they come in, what he say? I like my booty with jelly. That's what he said. Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
He want his with jelly.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. White folks is about to put jelly on the hood. And they coming in, no Vaseline. They coming in hot. So the real question is, as we come into the top of the hour, what you gonna do about it? Negroes talk all day. Oh, gentrification is affecting my hood. I grew up in this neighborhood. Blah, 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 woo, 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 woo. They call the radio station, they wide open, man. Rashad Rich, WAOK, they call it V103. They call all day. Negroes talk all day. Then when the opportunity comes like this, Negroes, now I don't say all Negroes because I don't want people on Wealth Wednesday to be like, come on, David, we spending money with you. We not blah, blah, blah. I get it. But it's not enough of us moving on information like this. This is information that we hold real close to the vest, right? Like people pay a lot of money for me to put this on a board and whiteboard this out and explain to them exactly what's going on. Only reason why I'm telling y'all this is a couple of reasons why I'm telling y'all this. But number one is that I have a feeling about this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of happy all this foolishness that went down at the old office kind of happened because it kind of forced us to get out here and we know what's going on. So to be able to do what we did and buy a whole block and all that type of stuff with our own money, no partners involved, I'm like, all right, cool. I get it, right? But I can't be the only one out here doing that. It needs to be just like they put in an onslaught on our neighborhoods, like just like they identify target areas that real investment dollars are getting ready to be released in this April, May, June, July, August sale. I mean, they getting ready to unleash the Kraken, man, on our hood. And like, we just letting that go down? I mean, they got movies being shot. There's a movie being shot. They shooting Spider-Man outside the studio right now. They shoot Spider-Man.
Say word.
I'm telling you, I've been shooting Spider-Man for the past 3 weeks. They been talking Gun Club Road. Gun Club Road got bodies. There's a cemetery. But now, all of a sudden, white folks is buying in there. They holding. They so smart. Oh, the good white man. Oh, the good white man is so intelligent, so intellectual. What, pop? What's wrong with us?
That was your face.
Show us your hood. Take off your hood, brother. White power.
Um,
What's wrong with us, man? Like seriously, man, come on. We've been talking this for a whole year, but really for 10 years, but really specifically to this. So I don't even wanna go off the rails tonight, man. All I'm here to tell y'all is it's going down. It's going down in a major way. And if you feel some kind of way about what's happening, like the easiest way to address it is to just be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of it. And T.I. and Killer Mike is buying Bankhead. Yeah, okay. So let me talk about that right quick. And Mike is a client, okay? So Killer Mike and Shay, they clients of mine. And Tip is also an indirect client of mine as well. So I'm not gonna knock what they've done. Tip grew up, or his grandmother, excuse me, grew up in the area.
Grove Park.
Grove Park. His daddy owns property on Joseph E. Boone. We own the property across the street from where his daddy's liquor store is, blah, blah, blah. They got partnered up and bought Bankhead Seafood, or bought the rights to the Bankhead Seafood, what do you call it, recipe and all this type of stuff. But they two individuals, man. Two individuals. And I mean, come on, Tip's net worth might be, personal net worth, $10 million. Might be. Oh, Dr. Anderson, don't say that. His catalog is just that. Business-wise, you might put him at 100 million, but personal net worth, meaning, yo, I need to see you in the morning. What can you put on the table? $10 million, okay? Killer Mike, I don't know what his personal finances look like, but it's probably half or a third of whatever T.I.'s is. We talking personal net worth. I'm not talking about catalogs and all of this music and intellectual properties and their business network, which might be 5 times. Usually your business net worth is 5 times of personal net worth, all right? So what am I getting at? And even for myself, I'm an accredited investor, but, you know, personally, I might be good for 5 million. Personally, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Business-wise, we might be at 25 million. So we all kind of like in the same space. So even if you add all 3 of us up together, that's not enough to make a run on what I'm talking about right now. Because that whole area of Bankhead is black people. There's no white people that live in Grove Park. No white, they live in there now. But 5 years ago, there was no white people there. Gun Club Road, Hollywood Road. I mean, all of that, come on. It did not exist. The idea of living there was like, no, I'm not going over there. I don't even go over there. What am I going over there for? So I could get robbed or have to pull my gun on somebody and shoot somebody? I'm not doing that. So you stay away from this area. And so now that the tables are turning and gentrification is happening, and I kid you not, the whole 30318 zip code, and if you want to put this on the board,
Put it on the board, Doc.
because people want to be like, well, no, Doc, I understand all the speculation you putting on the board, Dr. Anderson. I understand all the history lesson you giving us, Doc, but I just need to know one thing, Doc. You know what I'm saying? What zip code do I need to buy in? Because, all of that historic connotation you're giving me, that just really don't give me nothing right there, Doc. I need to know exactly where I'm going to put my money at, Doc. Because, Dr. Anderson, I don't even want to invest with you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to watch the Wealth Wednesday so you can tell me what to do, and I'm going to just do it on my own, you know what I'm saying, Doc? Because I'll be listening to you, Doc, and I'm smart. I'm not a stupid person, you know what I'm saying? But if you're telling me to put my money in 30318 because you, T.I. and Killer Mike don't have enough money collectively, well then I'm going to do it on my own.
Watch this.
Come on, Doc, give it to me, Doc. Tell me. Come on, Doc, hurry up. Come on. Mister, I'm going to do it myself. Go right ahead. You want to do all of that on your own? It's all good. Here it go. 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,000 square feet. $233,000 for some foolishness on Collier Road.
Collier Road? That's
And it's
a jail.
It's an apartment. Apartment K1.
Where the jail at from there? Wright Street is how far?
Wright Street down the street, because it's off of Collier Road.
Down the street.
You don't want to go to Wright Street.
Down the street.
Bailiff, take the defendant into custody. Oh, hell no!
Hey, send him over to me. I'll take him.
I want you and I like you.
Bring the jelly.
I like my jelly. That's cold blooded. I don't know nothing about all of that, man. So,
Oh man.
yo, Doc, you sound like you know. I don't know nothing about Rice Street. All right, listen. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,945 square feet,
Tell him.
$475,000.
Tell him.
2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, DeForest Mill. Well, that ain't. It's still 30318. $409,000.
Tell him.
Oh, this is crazy. 507 Baker Circle. Okay? This is a trailer. This is a modular home. 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Trailer. It ain't even a double wide. $115,000.
Tell him.
Dude, 30318 is nuts. 30318 is nuts.
When they tore the apartments down, it was coming.
30318 is nuts. Okay? So, this is our target. One of the established targets. Call this target. Okay, Doc, I'm listening. What I gotta do? Well, a lot of y'all got bread just sitting here. Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Doc, real quick. Yvette White, PhD, says, Dr. Anderson, so are you saying we are going to buy before Invest Atlanta? Hold on, Invest Atlanta.
Yeah, Miss White and all these other partners that have come on board.
Gets all the sales back to them?
My goal for
Sell it back to them.
Yeah, so what I'm putting on the board right now is literally our plan for our partners. Okay, there's a lot of paperwork that goes into this. There's a lot of research that's gone into this. I mean, this is just a tip of what I'm telling y'all. You know, so because there's a lot of people watching. I'm looking at the numbers. Y'all averaging like 30,000 views weekly. It's crazy. So, I mean, I get it. I get that there's other people, other so-called subject matter experts watching, trying to figure out what we're doing. But, you know, when you're partnering with us, we have a team. It ain't just me, right? It's a team of people that are, I mean, the sales department just put 7 houses under contract in a week. That's crazy. I'm talking people closing in cash in 14, 15 days. This thing is nuts right now. So I say all this to say, you know, when you're partnering with us, what you're partnering with is a machine. And our research is unprecedented. Like, can't nobody touch us with this research game. Our research is crazy right now. So when clients like Miss White come on board, you know what I'm saying, funds come out of SDIRA, that's self-directed IRA, and, you know, we go into 30318. Because if you buying something in 30318, if you're lucky enough to get something in 30318, as soon as you list it, somebody's going to give you $10,000, maybe $20,000 above what you're asking, and it doesn't even matter if it's fixed up or not. So what I'm getting to really tonight is about having a plan, and a lot of us don't have plans. A lot of us don't even get into the planning period. You know, planning is very important, man. It's not like we just run out here and hop off the Sprinter and drop $500,000 and then just disappear. You know, it just is like, yo, there's a lot of work, a lot of planning, more specifically, that goes into that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of moving parts. And people think that they can do this on their own. And honestly, I'm at a stage in my entrepreneurial career where I don't even want to do stuff on my own because it's just it's so much going on. It's just unbelievable that you would want to even do something on your own. But we have people that think like that. We got some questions on the field. What's up?
I got, first of all, say what's up to Jessica Myers for me. She on there.
Hey, Jess, what's up? We got to do some business, Jess. Come on.
She said,
you gonna buy this hotel, Jess? What's up, man? Come on. I'm gonna wind up building my own hotel out of containers, Jessica. You know, pass split call. We about to talk about that tonight.
She's talking about they have Capitol Hold. And then L.D. Freeman.
What's up, Jess? You gonna do this or what, man? Come on, man. Come on, baby. Come on.
My bad, Jess. And then L. Freeman, he's saying that, he was saying a lot of things, think like a slave and act like a coon. His other brother was talking about Atlanta is baby Hollywood. What's it? That's
Baby Hollywood.
Him Daddy 7 said Atlanta is black Hollywood, totally
Malcolm.
phony fronting.
Nick, my man Malcolm Anderson, the first black person in America to have a hemp license.
Yeah.
My nigga.
And then L.D. Freeman said that they're doing the same thing in Charlotte. And then
Man, Charlotte is crazy. Mecklenburg County.
Then he said, He said, how can I invest? LD Freeman.
How can we invest? This is why we do the Wealth Wednesday. Very good question.
Mr. Freeman.
888-755-5105. But I'm not done. I'm just heating up, and then at 10 o'clock, I'm going to get out the way because my man George Cole with the National Credit Education Services, he's going to come in and drop the hammer. But listen, very good question. How can you invest? Please go to www.therealestategroup.partners.com. Please go there. We do Zoom consultations. This is very important. And they're free, all right? So the Zoom consultation, you know, we talk about how we can assist you. I got that. So the Zoom, you can set up the Zoom. We can, you know, kind of get into where you are, what your goals are, and just come up with ideas. And let me tell you why this Zoom is very important. The Zoom is important because I'm on some shit right now, like honestly. You know what I mean? I'm in a space right now where average issues that are problematic for regular people, I'm solving in record time. Like, I'm solving major personal financial and business challenges right now because literally I've probably been through almost every business challenge that you can possibly think of. And so the type of responses that I'm giving right now in this stage of my life and the team that I have, those two things together, right? The experience, the know-how, the relationships, the team, all of that is creating this incredible energy right now that is allowing us to move the way that we're moving. Like literally 2 weeks ago, we did not own a block in front of the Beltline near or close to Chappelle. Like that is ground zero for gentrification. Wouldn't have happened. And 2 weeks ago, it didn't happen, okay? Now, 2 weeks later, we're in that game. So what I'm saying is the Zoom is very important. Even if you don't partner with us, the Zoom is important because there's ideas that we need in order to be successful. I'm listening to people. I like to kind of just listen to people's challenges and try to understand why they're in the challenge that they're in. And a lot of the challenges people are in, you're in because you've been told something that was false from the get-go. There's these false narratives that are being perpetuated. And honestly, if you really want to get into what I really think, I really think that we as black people are being targeted with misinformation to keep us poor. Mm-hmm. Because when you look at what's going on, when I did the ideogram earlier, what I forgot to tell you was this ideogram of I-20, this is real important. I don't want to go backtrack, but I want to talk to you about this. This I-20 is the dividing line. Yep. This is the line that separates wealth in Atlanta, and every city has one. In Mecklenburg County, y'all got a dividing line. Back home in New York, there's all kind of dividing lines. There's a dividing line everywhere because banks practice something called redlining. If you don't believe me, some of y'all that are out here trying to get homes, that are trying to get first-time home buyer programs, and you're FHA approved, peep game. I got a condo right now in Stone Mountain. We paid 5 G's for it, bought it out my Roth IRA. It's online right now for $105,000. It's 4244 Parkview Court. You could go Google it, because I know some of y'all are good. Oh shit, damn, doc, you getting paid. I'm not getting paid. It's my Roth IRA. I don't even do deals myself personally anymore. I do all my deals out my Roth. Bought a house, $5,000. It's listed 105. We have 10 offers. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. But all of them are FHA approved. And get this. The HOA community that is in that area, guess what? They don't fool with FHA approved. Why? Because FHA approved means, quote unquote, you might have some blemishes on your credit. You might be a quote unquote high risk, right? And so some of these HOA communities, they don't want high risk. They don't want, black people because we're deemed
Wow.
financial high risk, right? So this is the redlining that continues now. Ain't nobody marching for this. We marching for George Floyd. Oh, the white man got his foot on my neck. I'm not knocking that. That happened. It's unfortunate. But we got things happening right now as it relates to financial injustice. Ain't nobody talking about it. Nobody's talking about FHA is redlining. Like this shit is like going over people's heads. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm FHA approved, doc. I could buy that house. No, you can't. You can't buy what you want when you're using financing and it's approved by the government and it's FHA. You can't get what you want. Get out of here. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. You can't do it. And so when you go into this I-20, excuse my language, sorry, Uncle Rob. When you go to this I-20, right, you don't, and Terry Daly told me this, dude, David, you're going to play the real estate game in Georgia, don't buy anything below I-20. Why? Because the bank deems this high risk.
Ooh. Jonesboro Road.
All of that.
University.
Listen, man, my primary residence is almost 9,000 square feet. If I pick up my primary residence and take it up to Johns Creek, it's going to be $5 million. No doubt.
No.
My primary residence, I'd be lucky if I put it up right now and get $500,000. Why? Because I choose to live around my people. And so because I choose to live around my people and I want to be in Forsyth County, I want to be at the lake, I own at the lake, but I want to live at the lake. I just want to go to the lake when it's time to go on the boat. But when I go home, I want to be around black people. Why? Because I know black people. Somebody gonna rob me, I'd rather be a black person than a cracker come in there. Because I understand, okay, this little kid came in here because he ain't had nothing to do. And I can decide if I want to shoot him or not. When I live up there in Forsyth County, I gotta shoot the other person. Why? Because I don't know. I'm unclear. I don't know if it's hate. I don't know what's going on. All right? So this is my personal preference. All I'm saying to you as an investor, as a speculator, right? Don't invest in anything under I-20. And I'll take it a step further because honestly, we're here for the equity. We're not here for nothing else. We're here because we're trying to find out where the equity reside. Where the equity reside, where the equity reside. And I told y'all about Gwinnett County. Gwinnett is great. I told y'all about Cobb County. Cobb is great. Oh, Dr. Anderson, we love investing in Cobb. Oh, Dr. Anderson, we love investing in Gwinnett. Gwinnett is great, right? We love it. But do y'all know that Forsyth County, Forsyth County, the same county that Oprah Winfrey talked about, the same county that said, don't have your black behind in here after dark, the same county that has all of them people that they washed away when they built the dam to make the lake. Forsyth County and Hall County where Trump resides, where they say freedom rang from Stone Mountain, Georgia to Forsyth County to Hall County, where the white people reside, where the money reside. Is in Hall County.
Yeah.
It's in Hall County. Why?
Yeah.
Because this is it. White people are losing their shirt just like black people are. But they ain't saying it. They ain't saying nothing. We bought almost 2 acres on the lake in Cumming for 10 racks. The land itself is coming in at $350. The land, if we build something on it, it's gonna be $8 something. Hall County got equity. This is where the money reside. Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. Hall County, Forsyth County. So why is it that we all focus, that we gotta fight the power. We gotta go in here. We can't let the man, we can't let the crackers take our land. We gotta go, we gotta fight, we gotta get in the belt line. We gotta get in front of it. We gotta buy Bankhead back. Buy Black the Bankhead. I get it. Peace, my brother. But if you're really trying to, set yourself up, because you've been taken advantage of, because they've stripped you from your ability to be able to get equity. Like if you know you on the back of the bus and you got to get to the front, you've been economically disadvantaged, why would you subscribe to the idea that I'm going to buy below I-20? Who does that? Oh yeah, doc, I want to talk to you about a deal. Where's it at? Jonesboro Road. Click.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yo, you know, I called that Dr. Dan Anderson, man, and he didn't call me back. You're talking below I-20. Like, that's almost disrespectful. Cause what you saying to me is, you want me to invest in a high-risk area. The bank says it's high risk. So I gotta put my money that I'm busting my behind for in a high-risk area? What kind of sense does that make? Why are we not going to Forsyth and Hall County's tax sales? Why are we not the color of law? No doubt, major. Why are we not going into these areas that have high equity and literally stripping the equity out of those residences and putting it in our own self-directed IRAs and our Roth IRAs tax-free? They're gentrifying us. They're pushing us out the way. And then when we go to Forsyth County to go get some reparations, we're told we can't be there after night. You know, son, you can't be here at dark. I live up here. Like, the best thing ever was, quick story, and then I'll get back to this. The weekend that we bought the property up there on the lake, the bus broke down. We had just got the Sprinter in there. I had to take it to the shop and all this type of stuff. Bus breaks down, and it's like, oh, I had to leave the bus up there. And so the white dude next door, he's like the George Zimmerman of the area. He want to be on patrol and find and figure everything out. He goes, you know, you really shouldn't be up here after dark. It gets scary for your kind.
You mean light-skinned people?
Oh, I was loving this. Every moment of this, I was like, ding dong! You rang the doorbell of the Entrepreneur Negro. So I was like, okay, I'll play. And I was like, really? I don't know anything about that. Oh yeah, this is Forsyth County.
Mm.
Your kind is not welcome here.
What?
My kind? What is my kind? You know what I'm talking about. No, I don't. Are you from around these parts, boy? Boy, what are you talking about? Boy, where are you from? I was like, I'm your neighbor. This dude's head, it was just like something out of that Dave Chappelle thing. His head was just like, you're not my neighbor. I was like, man, I'm your neighbor, man. You know, I'm
Hey neighbor,
how are you? MF neighbor. He was like, that's not possible. Blah, 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 blah. So we go through this whole thing. He's all upset. You know, he's like, you know, calling the cops and stuff. Called the police, Forsyth County police come out.
What?
Is there a problem? Blah, 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 blah. He's got his Mercedes-Benz Sprinter parked out here. And hey, man, like, it broke down. It's the weekend. Juanita Barenco's not open. We got to wait till Monday. We got to get a AAA to come out here and tow it. You know, it'll be gone in, what was it, Saturday? It'll be gone by Monday. Like, everybody relax. So Forsyth County Police, they were cool. You know, once they figured out we owned up there and we're boating people and we got boats and all this type of stuff, they was like, oh man, this is crazy. But the cop pulls me over to the side and the cop was like, yeah, you know, that guy doesn't like you too much. And I was like, yo, I don't think it was me. Like, it could have just been anybody.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm black and I'm young, right? And then my Sprinter is in front of his crib.
The Mercedes-Benz.
He got a problem with it. So I say all this to say, right? We got to go into these areas, okay? Because regardless of racism and white supremacy, like, that ain't even something that even, like, honestly, that's not even real, okay? Because as an African, right, and as somebody that understands and has traveled, and I'm on my 3rd passport right now, I've been inside of these tombs. I go and visit ruins when I have time. Like, I understand what this is really about. All right, and when you can have that kind of intelligence, like, you automatically know that this whole game of racism and white supremacy is not even real. It's only real to the people that believe it. And when I say that, because Dr. Leakey in 41 found a humanoid. in Addis Ababa, right outside of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. All right, and in that report, they stated that at the time in '41 they dated Lucy, because that's what the Beatles made the song about, Lucy with the diamonds in the sky. They dated her 4.5 million years. This is a woman found in the cradle of civilization, Ethiopia, outside of Addis Ababa. Some students from Columbia go and recarbon date the lady with a laser beam, and she came back 26 million years. So she's in Africa, right? Safe to say, to speculate, my brother, that the humanoid that Dr. Leakey was talking about in his findings was a black woman, huh? So the oldest known humanoid on the planet, 26 million years old, is a black woman, which would suggest that life on this planet originated from that humanoid, that black woman's woo-ha. It all came out of there. So if life originated out of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, then white folks is our long lost cousins that got trapped in the Caucasoid Mountains and they mutated. They got stringy hair and pointy noses because they was in the Caucasoid Mountains. If you understand that as truth, then there's no reason to even get upset or let your blood pressure rise because of hate and white supremacy. We ain't got time for that. We trying to get up to where it is that we supposed to be. We've been delayed. And now we on the field, everybody's playing, everybody's getting their equity, and we don't even have the rules to the game, and now the door is open for us to play, and it's the fourth freaking quarter. Come on, man. How are we gonna get 200 points? And now they just giving us the ball? We don't have time to be thinking about that foolishness right now. It ain't even no time to back engineer that. You understand what's really going on, you travel, you see things, you know what's going on, you know that that don't nobody else act like that. The people in England might, the Queen, colonialism, imperialism, whatever. But that's because they're cousins. But don't nobody else act like that on the planet. Except for here. So my advice is don't buy below I-20. You want to invest north. We got questions before we get in here, and I want to get on this pad split thing.
This Dewan
Craig, what's up?
He says, so are all these investors ringing our phone off the hook to get our below I-20 equity-rich houses misinformed?
I don't know, man. I don't deal with misinformation. Like when y'all come to this platform, I don't have 30 million followers, right? I don't do stupid stuff to get likes. I don't spend money with Facebook. I don't spend ads on Instagram. Like everything that's going on is organic, all right? I do my little radio show. I'm gonna do this thing with Tigger on Wednesdays and Rashad, and I'm out here every day on some real entrepreneurism. I don't know about what goes on with other investors. I don't subscribe to the whole I'm knocking on doors, and I'm not telling my crew to go and knock on doors during a pandemic, and they black and people are shooting people when they open it. I'm not doing all of that. Like I'm not out here running cold calling people and buying lists. Like we don't do that. Like we're generating the momentum and the energy for the deals to come to us. I don't call people for deals. People call us for deals. They call us for there's people right now that's interested in sending money to us because of the type of information that we're carrying. So my approach is I focus on my information. I focus on not dealing with misinformation and dealing with actual information, because actual information is power. And so these people that have subscribed to that, there's 20,000 people on Facebook that have joined and said they down with that. There's almost 1,000 people on the gram that are down with that. You know, however many people that have subscribed, the 3,000 people that subscribed on the YouTube, and the over 500,000 people that have watched on YouTube. That's what we focus on. We don't focus on anybody else or what anybody else is doing, because what we doing is working, right? And when you got something that works, you don't try to run and do something else. You pay attention to that. You zone in on that. And I think like a lot of people are trying to figure this money thing out so hard that they all over the place. They got like ADD on that real estate game. And really, truthfully, you should be just focused on one thing. You know, if you found something and it works for you, focus on that. Like I got other interests. I'm in the film game, I'm in the radio game, but I've been focused on these tax liens for 15 years, right? So I almost should be able to go in here and buy a block for $5. Like I feel like that's me doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Let me get to this lesson right quick for Mr. Cole comes in here. You got any other questions?
No. Keep rolling. Put it.
All right. So this is what I want to talk about before we get out of here tonight. I told y'all we was going to talk about this. It was on the flyer. Pad split. And I don't really want to do a versus, but we'll just wind up doing that just for time. Versus Airbnb. All right. So, but first first and foremost, we gotta talk about pad split first. Then we get to the verses. What the hell is pad split? Everybody knows what Airbnb is, right? But we gotta be like, yo, what's pad split? So, I gotta give a fast shout out to Andrell Harris out of North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, because she kind of put me onto this pad split situation. All right, so padsplit.com. So she's an investor. She's actually a partner with the Real Estate Group Partners, and she uses her primary residence. I think she has like a 3-bedroom or whatever, and 2 of her bedrooms are connected with this pad split business. Okay, so these people pay weekly to be members of this organization, padsplit.com. All right, and this is really important. We're gonna put this up here. Put a pin on this. Membership. It's membership driven. This is very important. All right. So long and short, let's just say pad split. Her rent is $650 for the room, all utilities included, heat, light, water, internet, and it's $650 a month for each room. All right. Pad split charges 12%. The fee is 12%, which is cool. All right. And so the net for her is probably like $575 or whatever like that. And that $575 twice is like $1,100, okay? And so that money is used to offset the mortgage and the insurance and the heat and the light bill. That's crazy. So the idea of and then some people say, well, I don't know about other people living with me. Well, you can kind of choose who you want. So for women, right, the way that they have it could be gender specific, right? Because it's a membership. So it's not like you're being whatever, racist or whatever like that. No, you're saying this situation works for other women, right? And other women who might still have a primary residence, but they got work going on in this area. They might be a traveling nurse. They might be whatever they're doing with their job that's requiring them to travel for a specific amount of time. All right. So the reason why this is important is because if you got a 3-bedroom house and you're losing money every month on those other bedrooms. Parents that got these big old houses and your kids done, left and they gone to college and moved out and you got an 4 extra bedrooms and people talking about, we got to downsize. Downsize? Hell no. Like you can rent that out, right? That's like almost $3,000 coming in additional a month. That's paying the mortgage on the house. Oh, well, we don't want to live with other people. Some of these houses are so big that people can, these big basements that got movie theaters and all this stuff, you don't need all of that. You got to watch Netflix, man. You don't need a movie theater downstairs. You only gonna watch the movie, once a month? People are coming by the house? Turn that into a room, man. Oh, I gotta exercise. Like, come on, man. People are getting on the Beltline. They're walking, they're riding their bikes. You're not exercising in the house. So I say all these things to say, how we looking at our homes post-pandemic has to change. Because this pad split thing is really being set up for you to be able to get some money. Now, people say, oh, well, I use Airbnb. I know about pad split. Airbnb got some holes. And let me explain to you. If I list my condo on Airbnb, the homeowners association and the dude lives right next door is going to be like, hey, I see you got your condo listed. That ain't going to work. right? Because you gotta ask permission. You gotta go, excuse me, can I please rent out my condo? You gotta go to a board. It's gotta be a plenary session. They gotta meet a quorum and all this bullshit, right? So ain't nobody got time for that, right? But the other side to it is, if you own your condo in a homeowners association or your home and it's in an LLC, then guess what? The members of the LLC have the same rights and privileges as the owner. And because Pad Split only does business, this is why it's so important, with LLCs, only the entity that owns the actual property, and limited membership is given to the leaseor, or excuse me, they don't even use the word or language tenant, to the member. Okay? Now this is why this is important. So I'm putting this on the board. Tenant versus, we're gonna talk about versus, Pad Split versus Airbnb. We'll talk about versus tenant versus member. Very important. Very important. Tenant versus member. A tenant has rights. A member has no rights.
Wow.
A tenant has a key. A member has an access fob.
Access.
Or key card, which is controlled access by the organizer of the membership. Ooh! Now, for those of you that really understand what I'm saying, for those of you that have been in court, for those of you that got fighting against people that have graduated from the University of Squatters' Rights and got summa cum laude, LMNOP, APCD, EMG at the back of their name from the University of Squatters' Rights, for those of y'all that have to defend your land rights against the usage of a squatter, for those of y'all that have to defend in 2 different courts in 3 different jurisdictions, oh my God, I can go on and on about the type of strategies that squatters are using so that they can buy more time when they know they haven't paid the rent, they haven't paid taxes, they squatting. But some kind of way, squatters have rights. You know why squatters have rights? Because of the language. All boils down to language. If you're a tenant, it's assumed that there's a lease, and it's assumed that there's jurisdiction over that lease by that particular court. But in the Pad Split world, it's memberships. And if you don't pay your membership rights get terminated. If your membership rights get terminated, your access is denied. So why do the utility companies get into the utility game? Because when you don't pay your light bill, they cut your lights off. It's lights out. You be on the phone like, hey, did you get my payment? Can you turn my lights back on? You don't pay the phone bill, utility company, right? Because T-Mobile and Sprint got something for you if you don't pay the bill, right? Because then you're going to get restricted, okay? And you got to call them up and you got to pay that $3,000 or whatever the hell your bill is for them to cut you back on, okay? Your membership has been terminated. But if you're a tenant, you got so-called rights. Squatters have rights. How's that possible? They're not paying for nothing, but they got rights. So now you got to go to court. You got to hire an attorney. That attorney has to have points on his argument. The other side responds. They got 30 points. They've involved the HOA, so now you got to get an HOA attorney to defend the HOA. You're just doing this right here. All because somebody don't want to leave gracefully, right? It's crazy. So with this member situation, right, it's like, yo, wait a minute. We can build houses, affordable housing, specific to pad split. We can build these container homes specific to the needs of pad split. I'm gonna let y'all in on something. I talked to Mr. Roberts because he was like, yo, I'm selling stuff. Mr. Roberts is selling everything, right? He's getting older. He's like, man, I did it. I'm a billionaire. I'm just selling everything. So he's selling stuff. And so I'm like, at one point I was entertaining, prior COVID, I was entertaining buying his hotel in Detroit. And we was sitting down talking about it. It was at his house in the Bahamas. We was really, really, really trying to figure this out. Then COVID hits, and I was like, oh, I'm not buying that. Forget that, Mr. Robertson. David, how you doing? I'm good. I'm not buying that hotel. But he said something in this transaction when we were going back and forth. I was like, yo, Mr. Roberts, do you think this is a good idea? Yo, honestly, this dude looked me straight in the face. He was like, nah, hell nah. I wouldn't buy no hotel. I was like, this is before COVID. I was like, damn. I was like, why not? He was like, man, the overhead is crazy. I said, well, if you could do it all over, what would you do? I swear to you not. Mr. Roberts looked me dead in the face. He was like, man, I would do what you're doing. I would buy the tax liens, but I would develop them into 6, 8, 12, 24 units. And I would affiliate, keyword, listen up, class.
Affiliate.
Affiliate is what he said. I would affiliate with one of these Airbnb companies or Hotel.com at the time, Booking.com or VRBO, and let them do all of the booking. And I would have 500 units in Atlanta, 500 doors. He says, it's like taking the hotel and dispersing it. And that way you're not having to incur the cost of, the kitchen staff and, all this other overhead that eats up the profit margin. He was just basically like, yo, this is a hotel that's dispersed, that is just straight income, straight cash flow. When I thought about that, I was like, oh, that's cold-blooded. Mm-hmm. That is cold-blooded. So, of course, I'm implementing that. But then, when you find a partner, a marketing partner, because that's really all this is. Pad Split is just a marketing partner. And, may I tell you, they only have 3,000 doors in Atlanta and only 9 available spaces. 9. Pad Split only has 9 available spaces. So I'm like, yo, there's no doors for Pad Split. They trying to figure out how they can partner up with people who can build doors for them. So I say all this to say that, when we're looking at getting involved into scenarios that will bring us revenue, or what we're talking about right here, which is cash flow. Because Pad Split is cash flow. Pad Split equals cash flow, right? And this is long-term cash flow. We're talking about weekly income. They don't pay by the month. They pay every week, right? So just do the basic math on this, and I'm gonna leave this alone. Because when somebody said, well, how can we invest? Hold on a second. We're gonna get to your money, all right? You can call the office, and the girls can take care of that in the morning, okay? What we're talking about now is the mechanism that we're gonna use to develop the system to collect the cash. That's what tonight is about. And we have a choice. Some people can say, oh, I do Airbnb and I swear by it. Airbnb puts all your business on blast. I don't want all those pictures on the internet for everybody to see, right? If I don't have a commitment from somebody who's a qualified tenant, I don't want all these looky-loos. I don't want the HOA being able to say, oh, Anderson, there he goes, renting out his unit again, and he didn't ask us permission, denied. I don't want to deal with that, right? So I want to get my money, and I want to be quiet about it. I'm talking to y'all about ideas right now. But at the end of the day, you got to get your paper, and you got to just get your paper. Don't nobody need to know where your paper is coming from, all right? Your paper's coming from 12 different directions, and it's quiet. You know what I mean? Some of your family don't even know when your paper is coming, okay? Because then they start coming with stuff, talking about, well, little Johnny want to go to college.
They got to do with me.
Exactly. Well, your mom says she want that $5,000 wheelchair, David. You can't be buying no new cars right now.
That is mom's, man.
Mama, I love you. P.O.P. hold me down. But you will not. I said you will not. I said you will not be in no $5,000 wheelchair. No.
Cold blooded.
No. We're gonna put her in the Sprinter and Raheem gonna be driving her. $5,000 wheelchair. You know what I can do with $5,000? I can buy a block in Atlanta. Come on, man.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. All right, man. So when we talk about cash flow, last tip before we get out of here, we got to talk about doors. Cash flow, and this is what Mr. Roberts was getting at. It equals doors. All right? Now, we say you got 100 doors. At the math on that, 650 minus the 12%, 575 divided by 4, puts you at whatever, 150 a week. It's on the average. I'm just doing the average, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are my averages. What's 150 per week at 100 doors? Class. You're just moving some zeros.
We got what, 54 weeks in a year?
No, just 1 week.
Shit.
$150 times 100. What is that?
15,000. 15,000, thank you.
15 G's. Fonzie,
Yes.
what can you do with 15 grand a week?
Fonzie doing it or the right way?
I'm just saying, what would you do with 15 G's? If you had 15 G's coming in every week,
Every
you
week.
didn't have to do nothing to get it. It's just coming into your account every week. What would you do with it?
I would take
One response.
buy tax liens.
Great. You would invest. I would have the money go back into my Roth IRA. I wouldn't touch it for 15 years.
Copy that.
So when this shit is over with and I'm tired, there's like $20 million somewhere.
Cash out.
And I'm on a boat
Tax free.
getting some head.
Oh, you did.
For my wife, of course. I mean, she know what it is. Come on, man. Baby, I love you, man. But you
I'm my girlfriend, man.
no, I ain't doing that. I'm just saying, man. Come on.
Hey, you got 15 a week. The hell with it, yeah.
15 G's a week? She probably be like, I'm tired. My jaws hurt.
15 a week.
15 a week? Come on, man. That's 15 racks a week.
54 weeks in a year, right? 52.
Anyway, that's cash flow. I know somebody's like, damn, Dave is wrong.
You making 15 a week.
You should be getting some head. It should just be automatic. Even if you... I'll be quiet. I'm about to get myself in some trouble.
You gonna get a whoop.
15 a week. You shouldn't have to ask for no head. That's like $1 million, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like seriously, man. I gotta ask.
Is that one property or how many properties?
100 doors.
100, my bad, 100.
But 100 doors don't necessarily have to be 100 properties.
No.
Because we're talking multifamilies.
That's
It could be 10 lots
Yes.
that have 10 units.
Yes.
That's manageable.
Yes.
And you're talking about $1 million a year off of these 10 lots.
Don't let it be container homes.
We're talking container homes.
Wow.
We're talking 20-foot by 8-foot container homes. Because a pad split, people don't need a lot.
Mm-mm.
They trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So the model for pad split is, they don't have, multiple locations. They go into work and their situation, their business might have closed. So they might have got displaced because of the pandemic. And then, somebody got sick. And pad split is just the ultimate, in my opinion, opportunity for somebody to get started. Because the other thing that's most important, and I'm going to get out of the set and let Mr. Cole come up here and talk to you about your credit. But the ultimate set for pad split is that you can move through the country with it.
Mm.
So if I got to go be in New York, right, because I got to deal with my moms or whatever, for a month, I can do a pad split, huh? And because I have a membership, I can go up there. Now, I own property there, so I don't have to, I might do a pad split while I'm doing this deal, but when my deal is completed, I won't have to do it anymore. But I can go anywhere I want to go if I'm a member of pad split. So it's just a really dope idea. And what's even deeper is it's a developmental opportunity. And so that's what we're talking about. Where does the money reside? Where does the equity reside? It resides in the opportunity long term. That's where it resides. So anyway, it's that time. Mr. Cole's here. He gonna talk to y'all about some opportunities within the credit space. Credit is super important. I know I kind of downplayed and all this type of stuff because I've been able to do things differently with self-directed IRAs. So I haven't had to lean on getting credit and all that other type of stuff. But what I'm seeing right now, yeah, because Fonzie got the 750. Fonzie should be getting some head just because of his credit score.
Hey, man.
I'm saying, like, they should just be like, ah! I'm just playing, y'all. I know people are like, David, what's wrong with you?
We working hard.
Just saying, man, it solves problems, man. I mean, it reduces blood pressure, allows for you to think clearly. I mean, it just promotes life, it prolongs life, it
fights against
cures
COVID.
Diabetes,
It fights against COVID.
cures colon cancer. I mean, it's really good for you, man. It should be every day. Anyway, I digress. But your credit, man, your score is real important because it allows you to do different things. And I'll just say this and I'm out of here. I called to get a quote on some insurance, right? Because it's that time. It's the time of year that you get boater's insurance, right? And Geico was like, yeah, we need your social security number so we can run a soft credit check on you for insurance. I was like, hey. Hey! We're not doing. Oh, well, Dr. Anderson, I said, hey, man, this is a marine vessel, right? I got more than one vessel. I've been with y'all for this amount of time. There's no way that that's happening. You want to be that guy that just takes one client and doesn't insure all of this stuff that I got? You want to be that dude that loses that? Because you asked me the wrong question? You don't ask me those types of questions. That's intrusive. I'm offended. I straight up, I said all of this. I was like, yo, let me speak to your supervisor. Oh, sir, hold on one second, blah, 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 blah. And I told the supervisor, I was like, hey, listen, this is my 4th year with this policy. There's no way that I'm going to allow you to do that to regrade me and figure out how much of a risk I am when I'm got boater safety class and a freaking part of the auxiliary and a Coast Guard. You know what I'm saying? Coast Guard auxiliary and licensed to handle a 44-foot yacht. Like, come on. What's wrong with you? And of course, Dr. Anderson, we're sorry, blah, 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 blah. We won't be running a credit check, blah, 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 blah. So this is the type of stuff that they do to you, man. This is the type of economic injustice, right? Because your credit score shouldn't have nothing to do with your insurance quote. Those are two different things. Why are they even asking you that? So this is how they moving, man. And if you don't understand that, you're gonna get susceptible to that type of, treatment and everything that comes with it. So anyway, I say all that to say we got Mr. George Cole in the house. He's on deck. I got a marker for you and an eraser. Y'all welcome George Cole to the Well Wednesday set.
All right,
Mr. Cole, Mr. Cole.
I want to say thank you again, Dr. David Anderson. You're always highly entertaining, brother. And let me put some information up on myself so you guys know. And so, just to follow up what Dr. David Anderson was talking about that insurance, and the reason why they want to, the reason why they
You got
want
a racer,
to,
George? You got a racer?
Okay.
You got
Yeah,
space,
yeah,
man.
George.
You got space, you got
Yeah,
space.
and the reason why they want to act like they're checking your credit score, because if your credit's bad, then, they don't want to take you unless you're at a 600. But the whole thing about it is that they say that they say all that to say that they believe that you will be a risk to say your car got stolen, to say that you had a Rolex watch that got taken out of your car. But really, it's not you who have the lower credit score that's the one that's going to rip off the insurance company. It's them folks with money that rips off the insurance company. They just make you pay for them, where the poor people pay for the rich people. And so that's the game, and that's what we want to do here, is to change this game. So that's mycreditreversal.com. But so basically, it's always interesting. I'm glad that Dr. Anderson brought that up, talking about the insurances and things like that, because that is a discriminatory type of situation that basically puts people to pay a significant higher amount for their insurance, and they don't know it. The only thing they know is they got accepted, but due to their credit score, they're going to pay a higher insurance. Same thing with your utilities. Same thing like with your BTU and your therm rate for your air conditioning, for your gas to keep you warm. It's a significant amount more money that they're charging, and you don't even know it. See, people with good credit, right? They're paying like 0.49 per therm. People with bad credit is paying 1.5. The only thing you know is that you're going to get your gas on. You're going to get your electricity on. You loving it, but you don't realize you're paying 3 times as much because of your credit score. So you're getting robbed so much that we don't even realize it due to our credit score. Again, you're paying triple insurance. You're paying triple for utilities. Where's your money going? You're working overtime. You're getting your college degree. You're getting your technical degree. You're getting your trade school degree. But what's it coming down to at the end of the day with your pocket? And so, Dr. David Anderson is here to help us to learn how to invest, to learn how to roll over our money, to roll over our credit, to use our credit for the means to be able to make money. It's all about leveraging. So when you deal with credit, it's more than just fixing that credit report. Is really strategizing and understanding how to really leverage yourself. And what I'm saying is that, if you're leveraging your credit by paying, again, triple car insurance, if you're leveraging yourself by paying, triple utilities, then your utility bill could be $300 a month between the two. But if your credit was good, it'd be $100. If you had better credit, your car insurance wouldn't be $300. It would only be $80. A lot of times you can't use the car because it's over the limit, or whatever it may be. Let's don't get started on the checking account. Because what we do is we swipe with the debit card until we can't swipe no more. And so therefore what happens now you got 10, 12 overdraft fees for $35 a piece. That's another $350. Now you spending over $1,000 or some dollars a month feeding somebody who don't even like you, feeding the banks who don't like you, feeding them that won't give you a loan, feeding the utility companies like Dr. Anderson was talking about. He goes out on his yacht. Well, see, you feeding folks who are going out in their boats and yachts who will never invite you. They're giggling and laughing and having major success off of your bad credit. So what we have to do is to really have a great discerning about ourselves and realize how much are we worth to ourselves. How important is it for us to change the status and the stereotype, the economic advantages that we have by improving our credit. And then what we want to do is to go back, once we improve our credit, we want to go back to the insurance company and say, hey, why is my rate so much? Well, your driving record's good, but just to be honest with you, it's due to your credit report. Oh, really? Well, let's rerun it. Dr. Anderson said, don't rerun my credit because came in. But if you didn't come in correct, you need to get your that soft pull for them to reevaluate your credit so that you can now turn around and be able to have your insurance drop down by 2/3. Okay? And then not the company ask them, how much are you charging me per BTU? What are you charging me? Oh, we're charging you 1.56. 1.56. I just saw a commercial that it's like 0.49. Oh, well, that's due to your credit report. Oh, really? So you need to rerun mine. Well, I'm going to call Scanner. I'm going to call Gas South. I'm going to call somebody else different that has some. Okay, well, just give us 1 second. Oh, you just qualify for the lowest rates that we have. Now, all that money goes back into your pocket. And then when that money goes back into your pocket, you make money with that money. We don't go out and create another debt for that money because now you just give it away to somebody else. What you do is now use your credit score to leverage, to buy those tax properties, to be able to go and get that rehab with that hard money loan. Make sure that you got your team of construction workers to go, ready to work, ready to put these properties back together so that you begin to juggle. See, one thing about this life, I know it's all about credit, but there's also the strategies, the thinking that we have to change in our minds to really establish good credit because, we can help fix your credit. We can help restore it, reverse your credit, do all these things. But if the thing is not right, guess what? We run back into the same situation. And we want people to be victorious in this situation. In order to be victorious, you got to understand the little first principles. You know, he was a great football coach. They named the Super Bowl trophy after him. Lombardi, Green Bay. He had a football team. Guys were too short, too slow, didn't have the athletic ability. These are professionals. But when he introduced himself to them, he introduced and said, this is a football. And this is how we're going to carry this football around all day. This is how we're going to do just the basics he taught them. And through those basics, that guy ended up winning 4 Super Bowls with players that didn't have the athletic ability to be able to compete against nobody, but they had the technique. And that's what we want to do, is to help people to be able to understand how simple this game is. America is not smarter than you. You're smarter than America. But what we have to do is to get out of our own way and stop. When somebody rejects you, it doesn't mean that you're not good. They could be rejecting you because they don't want you to compete against their uncle or compete against their dad or compete, period. They just want to keep you down. So therefore what happens is that you have to develop your credit and then learn how to go to outside banks. If you live in small towns in South Carolina, you live in Mississippi, Alabama, even parts in Georgia and things like that, you go into Mississippi Bank and Trust, some of these people ain't really willing to help you. You got the credit, but they ain't trying to give you no house because you written off their Uncle Billy, and they want you to keep sending, send his son through school. Now you're going to send his grandkids through school because you keep renting, and they're going to keep rejecting you. So when people reject you, don't think that rejection means everything, because sometimes when people reject you and you don't have the right group around you to show you or to mentor you and tell you there's other places to go, that's why we're here. That's why we want you to call. My handwriting ain't the best, but my credit reversal.
They got you, George.
MyCreditReversal.com, the 404-493-1302. So we are here to help guide you and to show you. See, there's federal credit score, they'll give you the mortgage. There's federal banks who don't care, like Pentagon Federal Credit Union. It used to be a military bank only. Now it's open to the public. Do you think that they care that you live in a small town? Nah. They just want to know, you have a 680 credit score, you have minimal defects on your credit, then guess what? These people give you a loan for 15, later they'll turn that credit from 15,000 into 25,000. 6 months after that, they'll turn that thing $1,000. They'll start giving you lines of credit. They'll start sending you checks for you to go buy a car. So you'll go to the car lot.
Hold on, George, slow down, man. Write that down. Who gave me some money?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you, there's money out there, but we just need to know what avenue. We can't go to, Little Rock Bank. Little Rock Bank don't like you. They just want to keep you where you're at. What we have to do is to reach out, expand our thinking, find a national bank. I saw national banks, Wells Fargo Bank in South Carolina had a client that they would only give him $7,500, and this guy had a 770 credit score. $7,500, that's all they would give him. He called me and told me, you got my score up to 770, man. They only are trying to offer me $7,500 for a business loan. I made one call, 3-wayed him into the banker in Atlanta, Georgia, same Wells Fargo. He was down here. 24 hours later, they gave him a check for $100,000. He took that check, took it right back to the same Wells Fargo and said, here, deposit this. See, this is the discrimination and the racism and a lot of things that these banks, and this wasn't a real small town in South Carolina. We had the same thing in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where there's one Caucasian lady, I'm just stating the facts, this Caucasian lady, she had, first let me tell you about the black man. The black man had a credit score of 760. We helped to get him up there. Wells Fargo Bank would only give him, and now his office is right next door to Wells Fargo. They know him. He does bonds, and so he's constantly shooting cash over there all the time, feeding that bank. But that bank wouldn't feed him. All he wanted to do was offer him $5,000 business loan to help his business. And what? Then I get so many calls from all over the country. This Caucasian lady called me, and she said, I'm just so mad at this Wells Fargo on such and such street. I'm thinking this is the same bank that my man went to. And she said, I tried to get $250,000, and all they gave me was $125,000. They said my credit wasn't good enough, so I need your service. I said, what was your credit score, ma'am? You don't mind asking. It was a 630. I mean, but so what? I wanted 250,000, only gave me half of it. This guy had a 760 or 770. They would only offer him $5,000. So guess what I did? He got in his car, got on 459 around that loop in Alabama, got on 20 going east to Atlanta, and I could help him get over $150,000 that day. We did a couple calls over the phone. Pentagon was one of them, you know, and Navy Federal was another one, and went down to some banks right in Buckhead and got more money. And so all off of that credit score. So what I'm saying is, you know, if he didn't know us, then he would have took that $5,000 and think that that's the best that he can do. Why? Because sometimes your circle is not great enough to help educate you to make you think at a higher level. We make so many mistakes in our lives because we don't have the right mentorship. We don't have the right people around us to help guide us. And a lot of times, some of the people around us, they may know better, but they won't do better towards us because they want you to serve them instead of you becoming the potential legacy owner and a person that's going to create a great opportunity. So what we want to do here is we just want to teach people about believing in yourself. And whatever goal that you have, whatever image that's in your mind, you can achieve it. This America is not that hard, but you got to know the rules to the game about credit. And one of the number one rules to the game is understanding that FICO formula, understanding that FICO score. What creates your score? It is nothing but a behavior. It is a scientific study of your behavior that they look at to make a determination if you're credit worthy or not. And so therefore, if you know the rules to it, and if you have the ability to follow the game, then you can have the high score, and we can help get you the score, and then we can help guide you. Like TransUnion. If we did your credit and we got you from the 510s to Experian got you to 635, Equifax got you to 655, but your TransUnion popped to 701. Guess what? I know banks that only use TransUnion. Bingo, there you go. Mercedes-Benz only use TransUnion. What? The weakest credit reporting agency out there. That's who they use. So therefore, what we do is we navigate this situation. Every last one of them don't have to necessarily hit the home run, but you just need to know which one to go to for that particular line of credit or whatever you're trying to get. Then guess what? Once you get Mercedes-Benz, that's what you want, then it's going to report to all three. So now it's going to help all three of your reports grow, especially when you're paying it on time or whatever. The Third Bank, guess where they located? In Michigan, where that's in the central part of America. So therefore, guess who controls the central part of America's credit? TransUnion. There you go again. So what I'm trying to tell you is we can help to navigate you for the success that you're looking for, the success that you deserve it of. This is America. People fight to come over here. Is America always fair? Heck no. But it's still better than a lot of other places. And what we do is we make ourselves economically correct so that now we can invest and compete. I think everything is beginning to start to steer a little bit to our side, to where there's trying to become some type of economic equivalency or to be able to help minorities, people of color to be able to compete better and a better opportunity. But what's going to hurt us is not having the credit. So the opportunity's there, but we're not prepared for it. I always say, stay in front of the game. Don't chase the game. Be prepared for the situation that could come up. But if you're not prepared, then guess what? Lose again. So what I'm saying to you is that FICO is a whole scientific formula. It's not that complicated. So one of the major aspects of building a FICO score is having different types of credit. Having an auto loan, having a credit card or two. That's the credit cards you can use anywhere. Maybe having one retail card that you can use specifically at Macy's perhaps. Having, a mortgage if you can get there. If not, no problem. We'll get you there. But the whole thing is having a mix of credit is very important. But the most important thing is those credit cards is the fastest way to be able to build your score is the credit cards. And the reason why I say that is the credit cards will designate how you're living. Because if you're carrying a high credit card balance, FICO is going to report. FICO is the police. They tell the lenders and banks and financial institutions how financially well you're doing. So therefore, what happens is, if you have high credit card balances, then they already know that you don't make enough money to substantiate your lifestyle. You're using your credit cards to make your lifestyle work. So therefore, FICO is going to take 30% of your potential score away. I've seen people with 675 credit scores. They got 5 or 6 credit cards, 2 auto loans, 2 houses. They had a big, large mix of credit, but because their credit cards were maxed out or at 80 or 80%, their scores weren't even at 700. Why? FICO is snitching to let the lenders know.
You say snitching, George.
That's what they're doing. They let the lender know that this person, it could be 2 weeks to 30 days away from a potential bankruptcy.
Dang.
Because it shows on the credit report. Think about it. Would you lend some money if you know they maxed out with all your friends?
No.
No. So why should they lend you money? It's not really that complicated, but you gotta know. So therefore, I always teach about, there's 2 dates on your credit cards. There's a billing date and there's a cycle date. Mm-hmm. So what happens is that on your billing date, that's due on the 15th of the month, but they don't report your balance until the 20th. So therefore, you might pay that whole credit card off on the 15th, but then on the 19th, you put $350, $400 on it. So then on the 20th, the very next day is when that credit card company reports to all 3 credit reporting agencies. They're going to say you paid on time. That's worth 35%. But they're going to say that you're at 80% of your credit card limit. And that takes away 30%. But if you knew when your cycle date was and you paid off your card on the 15th and don't use it to the 21st, that means they would report a 0 balance, and now you look like gold. Now that same person would go from a 680 to a 780, just like that, because of what they're looking at. FICO will report the risk of what a potential client is, and that's the same way that you somebody who's calling your phone and you need a loan. I mean, does everybody like to lend money? If only if this person got 2 or 3 jobs and they working their butt off, they doing all they can, they taking care of their mom because she got sick. Yeah, that's the person I lend money. But you ain't trying to work, and I'm working 2 shifts, I'm working overtime, I'm going to school, I'm doing all this, and I'm gonna give you some of my money that I'm going hard like this for. It ain't gonna happen, Captain. I'm out. Put me out the game because you're gonna be mad at me because I'm gonna deny you. So what I'm saying is that money is valuable. So they want to see the work in your credit report, that you are smart about how you handle your money. You're not overly extended. And if you do get extended for a few months, so what? You ain't trying to use your credit because there's a reason why you went overextended. That was to do an investment house, to make, flipping cars, flipping whatever houses, whatever that is in your mind to be able to accelerate your success to go to the next levels. So I think that's a very important issue that people need to know how the FICO game works, because that FICO is going to be the principal piece that's going to take you to the next level. So I can never preach enough that we got to get ourselves prepared for economic battle, because if you don't, we're going to be left behind. And and then when we talk about children, you guys who got kids that's 15 and 16 years old, we got to prepare them for success. They talking about going to college. How many people that from all nationalities, white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever, and their kid talking about going to med school after 1 year, they end up saying, Mom, I don't want to go to med school, I joined this band. What? I joined the band. So we've been preparing you through $30,000 a year prep school, and now you talking about joining the band.
Somebody owe me some bread, George.
Yeah, somebody owe me some money. So therefore what happens is, if you have not prepared them for whatever direction that they decide to go to with their credit, then now they're living dangerous on taking on an opportunity that maybe God spoke to them and told them that they should do this. And sometimes it works out, right? Mm-hmm. So, but then sometimes it doesn't. But the thing about it is, have their credit prepared for whatever opportunity. Because there's too many people graduating from college with a 4.0, but with a 500 credit score. So therefore, all that education is robbed from you, because when you go out to get a car, you can't get a house, you can't do nothing, you're renting. And it's the person that worked at the grocery store who end up developing their credit when they were young, they're living better than the person with the college degree. Why? Because their parents positioned them to, no matter what they decide to do, at least one thing that they're gonna have is good credit. And that's why it's so key and it's so important. So what I'm saying is that you can begin to start developing credit for your child at 15 years old. One, you can, if you have a good credit card with a low balance, it's strong, and you're not blowing it out the water with, bad ratios, then put them on as an authorized user. You don't have to know. You don't even have to send them a card, okay? Just put them on. Then they work at the grocery store, throwing papers or doing whatever they're doing to earn some cash. Then you can help them after 6 months to get their own credit card. Again, if you feel they're not responsible, totally ready for that, you order the credit card, you can use it every 3 months just to keep it active, not even let them know. So now when it's time for them to graduate from high school, at age 17, 18 years old, and they say, Mom, I don't want to go to school. Mom, Costco's starting off at $15 an hour. I mean, I know if I do 25, 30 years at Costco's and I save 10 to 17% of my income into their, plan, people are coming out with $2 and $3 million by the age of 50-some years old, low 50s. So this is the route I want to take, and I'm going to let Costco pay for my education, and then maybe I'll become a store manager and make about $275,000 a year running one of those stores. Okay, cool. So guess what? 1 year at Costco, credit score is 750 because it was already 720 when they graduated. You prepared them. Now, after 1 year at Costco's, you're making about $18 an hour. You can easily go out and buy you a $150,000 house, depending on where you live, not in LA, not in some other places, but depending on where you live, it's all relative, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that you just put your kid ahead of the game. Your kid, this generational curse don't have to keep existing and don't have to keep happening and over again. You're putting your kid in a position for success. I think that's so important that we cannot just have these children and expect these children to be able to know what to do, because we have to stop this generational curse, and we have to make sure that they're in position for success, and they can do so great. The power of a good credit score and the power of not just having a good credit score, but the power of having assets. So now this kid who done bought this house for $150,000, him and all his buddies done went and redid it, dressed it looked nice. And in 10 years, we showed them how to accelerate their interest. We showed them how to accelerate that mortgage payment, how to split the payment, how to pay a little bit more, how to get that mortgage down. Well, now that mortgage after 10 years, house is worth about $275,000, and we help them to be able to pay that house off almost in 11 to 12 years. So they only owe a couple more years on it. $275,000 of liquid cash that's inside the house. Do you know what a 750 credit score and $250,000 worth of liquid cash, you know what you can do? You can borrow 10 times the amount of money. That's $2.5 million. Guess what? You know what I mean? Tractor trailers you can go buy. You know how many situations that how many minutes? Oh, okay. So you know all the different things you could do with that kind of money, and your kid is still young. See, this is powerful. So that's why I want people to reach out to me so that I can help. So I can help change people's lives. I want to change life. I want to be that guy who's going to help to inspire, help to deliver the best credit report possible that's known to man. And what we do is, let me just tell you, because I don't know how much time I have.
You got a minute, Jordan. Wrap it up.
Okay.
You got hit it with it, Jordan. Come on,
Okay.
man.
All right.
I'm ready to give you my money right now,
Okay.
Jordan.
That's what I'm talking about.
How much?
Yes, sir.
How much,
We're going to
Jordan?
talk about it. Just call me up. We're going to
Freeman,
make
George.
sure that you fully understand what it is. But what we do, I'm going to tell you, there's nobody else that does this in the industry. See, we talked about FICO. FICO's the king. The credit reporting agencies are who they are. All they do is report credit. But FICO is the king. They're the ones who let lenders know how much money that they want to give you depending on your score. So the way that we go about doing credit restoration, everybody else is just major deleters. They want to delete. That's not who we are. What we want to do is we want to reverse your negative credit. We want to get it to come back to show paid as agreed, never late. Even if it came out as a foreclosure, a repossession, a charge-off, a defaulted student loan, all these negative issues that's going on with your credit that's holding you back and nobody wants to lend you. Nobody will close on the house because you got this $13,000 negative situation on your car. And then all people want to do is delete it. Well, if they delete it, you don't have no credit. So what we want to do is reverse that account, to get it to come back to show paid as agreed, never late, with a zero balance. Kapooyah, your credit score just went through the roof. 35% paid as agreed, 30% for having a zero balance, 50% for not deleting it, for having a mix of credit. This is what it is. This is the thing. Yes, we do delete bankruptcy, judgment, chargement, garnishments, and things like that. But the number one piece is what we want to do. The number one piece is we want you to be able to call us so that we can go ahead and do a little counseling with you, help you to understand what you're doing. And if any of you guys are in the credit repair game, you need to talk to us because we got a process that can eliminate all of your headaches going through credit restoration. I just want to again appreciate the opportunity with Dr. David Anderson. That is my man. This dude done came up. He figured out the game. He knows the game. And what he's doing is he's putting people in the game to be able to make a colossal amount of money. So if you can go and partner with this man right here, with the knowledge, with the contacts, with the insights, see, it takes time to build it up. That situation is not free. He didn't just walk into it. He stumbled, he failed, he got up, he learned, but did not make the same mistakes. So when you follow brothers like this right here, then that's what's going to help to make you rich and make it a lot easier for you. Thank you.
That's what's up. Thanks, George.
George!
Hey.
Keep my pockets right, George!
Hey. So listen, man, it's Wealth Wednesday. Hope y'all enjoyed it. There's a lot in here. There's a lot to unpack. So, you know, the YouTube is there. Go check it out. I know a lot of y'all like to watch it later on in the week. Go back, yo, Doc said something, blah, blah, blah. What that boy said? You go back, you listen, blah, 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 and all that type of stuff. We get it. So look, if y'all want to hit us up, you got Mr. Cole's information here. And then also, I want to put the information for the real estate group partners on the board. Just 1 second, if y'all want to hit us up. It's the Real Estate Group Partners.com, and that's our website. Phone number to the office is 888-755-5105. We do a 30-minute Zoom, which is free. All right? So that's the deal with that. And then I gotta give a fat shout out to, somebody text me about this. Real important. Lucinda Johnson and Vin Johnson from Brooklyn, New York. They want to invest in a project that we was talking about on the radio this morning on 3. And apparently they got wow, okay. He was a basketball player. I guess he played for the Nets. So big shouts out to Vinny Johnson.
Microwave? No.
I don't know. I'm about to find out. But that's what I'm saying. This is the Wealth Wednesday community. We got ball players checking us out, talking about they want to invest and develop. This is a development conversation. This Wealth Wednesday is crazy. So I say all this to say I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got some religious, it's like somebody says a cult following. Wealth Wednesday is not a cult following. This is just people who want to, get involved and learn. So it's okay to learn. It's okay to be in here waiting for us getting our technology right. Right? It's okay to follow every weekend. Well, Doc, you said you was gonna say this weekend. I did. We ran out of time. We made good on it. So anyway, so I appreciate y'all. Miss Myers, you can give me a phone call and we'll buy some hotels and do whatever we're gonna do.
Just.
And we'll holler at y'all. Malcolm, we need to go put some seeds in the ground and grow some hemp nuts. You know how that go down. And everybody else, I'll holler at you. Peace.
Run it, Selector.